Good morning, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to sit down with me today for coffee and the Word. That time, each day, that we examine a small portion of God's Word, and then we apply it to our lives so we can become a little more like Jesus today than we were yesterday. So grab your cup and let's get going. We're continuing on in our study of Proverbs on God's Wisdom for Navigating Life by Tim and Kathy Keller. Today, we're going to look at the opposite of wisdom. Think for a moment with me. What's the opposite of wisdom? Well, Proverbs 1, verse 22 says, "How long will you who are simple love your ways? How long will mockers delight in mockery, and fools hate knowledge?" Throughout the book of Proverbs, the opposite of wisdom is called foolishness. In English, the word fool is a little more than an insult. In Proverbs, however, fools are people so habitually out of touch with reality that they make life miserable for themselves and all around them. We can't treat our body any way we want without consequences. We can't treat people any way we want and expect to have good friends and a strong family. We can't all live selfish lives and expect the social fabric to remain intact. Fools, however, do all these things and therefore sow and reap discord and destruction. There are various forms of foolishness, as we're going to see, but the ultimate foolishness is to make anything the center of our lives rather than God. That will always lead to disappointment and breakdown. Jesus describes the foolish man whose home is built on the sand instead of on the solid rock of Christ's word and wisdom. Take a quick look at Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 through 26. Fools also fail to see these boundaries embedded in reality: physical, psychological, relational, and spiritual. They step outside them and wonder why they sink. Where have you been most recently, either in your life or someone else's? The bitter fruit of foolishness. Now, think about this. Proverbs 1:22 talks about the mocker. Three kinds of fools are mentioned here in this verse. The mockers prove it is not mental capacity but attitude that determines whether we become wise or foolish. At the root of mockers' character is a high pride that hates submitting to anyone. Their strategy is to debunk everything, acting very smug and knowing in the process. Mockers, though fools, appear to most eyes as worldly wise and highly sophisticated. Some things, of course, deserve critique and even satire. Even God mocks sometimes. However, to sit in the company of mockers is to make cynicism and sneering a habitual response. Habitual mocking will harden you and poison your relationships. To see through all things is the same as to not see. We live in a postmodern age, writes Keller, that encourages deconstruction, and in an internet age that makes mocking and scoffing easy and reasoned discourse difficult. So we must resist the enormous culture pressure to become mockers. Contrast this with Jesus. Matthew 12, verses 19 and 20 say, "He will not quarrel or cry out. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out, till he has brought justice through to victory." When have you been tempted to roll your eyes and dismiss someone rather than engaging with them? Be blessed and have a grace-filled day.